to watch a short video. All right, I love that video. We are so excited that you are joining us today. My name is Donna Berry, and I am one of the Senior Builders Risk Underwriters, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us to talk about our exciting relaunch of our Builders Risk program. And the relaunch includes introducing our brand new online portal. We will walk through that and just show you how quick and easy it is. And also very excited to talk about having increased capacity, including frame construction. So we want to talk about our target insureds, and our message is very simple. We love home builders. We want to help you with your home builders. The timing of this relaunch is perfect because the housing industry is currently so strong. So we want to take a look at any home that's being built ground up new or homes being remodeled, and we want to help you with this business. So our frame limit per project is up to 5 million. This will allow us to meet the needs of most of your residential clients. With the industry being so strong right now, you may have a need for a reporting form for some of those larger or mid-sized builders. So that would be someone that has a good number of ground up new construction starts per year. We do have options available for that. So give us a call and we can walk through the specifics. In addition to home builders, we do want to take a look at small commercial. So this includes any type of office building, restaurant, tenant build outs, self-storage facilities. We want to help you with these small projects as well. So what is our target risk? We want to take a look at that ground up new construction. As I mentioned before, we are here for your home builders and your small commercial. We can look at both renovations and ground up new, so that includes residential and commercial. Our limits are 5 million frame and joisted masonry and 10 million all other construction classifications. When we walk through the system, we're going to talk through pass-through. We're going to talk through that on what is a pass-through account. So if you are coastal, any project ground up new up to 1.5 million will pass through our system without any underwriting interaction. You will receive that quote. For inland risk up to 3 million, that is also a pass-through. So you will get that quote for ground up new construction very quickly through our online system. So keep us in mind for frame, joisted masonry up to 5 million, and then anything else up to 10 million. If you receive a hold on a quote, if it's over the 1.5 million or over the 3 million, that doesn't mean we don't want it. We just have to take a look at it. So we have we have to do a quick underwriting review. We will be back in touch because we do want to help you with that business. Billing options are very simple. At the time of policy issuance on the online system, you will select either direct bill to the client or agency bill to you. So the invoice will go out the following business day. And then in addition to the invoice being sent out, we have added a billing summary to the email with the policy package. So when you receive the policy Once you've issued it online, you will also have that billing notice. So it makes it for a real quick turnaround to give that to your client and get that payment in. We're so excited about our online portal. You can quote, bind, and issue in minutes. I talk to users all day long and they are very happy with the system. We have users that can go in and quote and bind in just a few minutes. So I saw some activity coming through this morning. We always get excited when we see it. So we just ask that you give us a try for some of your smaller risk. Less underwriting questions. Since these are smaller projects, home builders, small commercial, we only ask the needed questions for the specific risk. The system has logic built in based on the type of project. The system's only going to ask those specific questions. So it's a really quick process. You have a dedicated team of people here that are ready to help you. We have an 800 number with a builder's risk staff that is ready to help. We can provide online login assistance. We can help with any online question that you have or coverage question. And if you need a phone quote or you want to talk about just a specific project, please give us a call. In addition to our service team here, we work very closely with our claims staff, with our carrier. So we are very familiar with them and their process. So we do have a dedicated claims team. Let's talk about our coverage form. So we have 19 automatic coverages. And a few that I like to point out are the following that are automatically built in. So we have soft cost, which is $100,000, property in transit, temporary storage, each are at $500,000, and debris removal of $150,000. These are only an example of the 19 coverages built in. So if you think about the average home value is about $410,000. Our limits are very sufficient for those home builders, for those, the average value of $410,000, we meet those needs of that client. In addition to the automatic coverages, we have several optional coverages. So we're really excited to introduce equipment breakdown that is now available for both residential and commercial. And then in addition, we have some other optional coverages. The most that I see requested is contract change order. That is available. We have permission to occupy, some delay in completion. So for some of those larger projects or the commercial projects that have some specific needs built into the bid or the requirement of the bank, we do have those options available. So let's walk through the V2 portal. You will log in and then you will select Start a New Quote. The first page is the general information, so the insured's name, the mailing address. Click through the terms and conditions, select Continue. Builder's name and address. We ask some specific questions about the builder, and based on the responses, there could be some cascading questions to collect some additional information. All right, the next screen is the property under construction. So you will enter in where the project is taking place. And it's real important that you use the drop-down option when selecting the state. So there's a drop-down, and if you'll click on the state, then you enter in the zip code and the county. Then you will select the project type. So this is where the system's going to know, is this ground-up new construction, or is this remodeling with existing structure, or remodeling without existing structure? Just a few additional basic questions about the property under construction, and then hit Continue. You'll select the construction type from the options available. Then there's the protection class. And anywhere that you see these little question marks by the questions, that's some additional information about that question. So it'll let you know what we're looking for, or maybe answer some questions that you have about that question. It just gives some real basic information to help you with the process. Then towards the bottom, we do need to know if the project has started. So we can take a look at projects that have started. We do need to collect some additional information. So this project has not started, so we're just going to collect the start and completion date. But if this project had started, we would have asked some specific questions about when did it start, what is the % complete, and just collect that information to feel comfortable with the risk. But we're only going to ask you the questions that we need based on the responses that you've given us. So we'll go continue. I'm sorry, my mouse has decided to, I apologize, my mouse would not click to the next slide. So here we are going to enter in the total completed value, select the deductible, and then this will list the 19 automatic coverages with the default limits. So for most of the small commercial, the home builders, these limits are sufficient. You do have the option to increase the limits with the drop-down options that are available, or the open text box, for example, soft cost. You can enter in an additional limit there. But these 19 coverages are a very good fit for the home builders and the small commercial. So next we have the optional coverages. So if you do not need these coverages, just hit continue. It's a very quick step. Or if this is a specific risk that you may want to add contract change order or equipment breakdown, you select yes and hit continue. And now we're on our last step of the quote process, which is collecting any additional interest. So if you had a bank or a lost payee, you would select add new. Then you hit continue, and the system will provide the quote. So you will receive this screen with a summary of the quote options, the deductible selected, the base premium. If any optional coverages had been selected, the premium would be listed here. At the same time, you will receive an email with the quote letter attached. So it happens instantly. Once you get to this screen, check your email, you have that quote letter, you can present it to the client. In addition, you can view and print the quote letter, the application summary. Those are also available on this screen. So when you're ready to issue the policy, you select to issue and hit continue. This is where you will select the billing preference from the drop-down of either direct bill or agency bill. Hit continue. And this is another chance to review what is being issued. So you have your property limit, your deductible, your premium. If you need to make any changes, you can go back at any time and make those changes on the appropriate screen. But we're ready to go ahead and issue this. So we enter in the effective date, and the expiration date will default to 12 months. If you need a shorter term, give us a call and we will be happy to walk you through that process. But we're going to go ahead and do this one for a year and select issue. And the policy has been issued. So once you get to this screen, the policy is issued. You will also get an email with the policy package and the billing notice. So the policy's been issued. You can present it to the client. You can share with them the billing notice, or they can wait to get the invoice in the mail. The documents are also here later on. If that's something that you need to go back and view or print, you can get back to this screen and do that from here. Or give us a call and we'll be glad to send it out to you. So that was it. Just going through, I apologize, okay. So that was the online system. So just in summary, ease of doing business. Please keep us in mind for the residential and commercial construction. We love home builders. We love small commercial. We offer the direct and agency bill, and the online system is available for 24 hours. So any time of day that you'd like to go in and quote or test our system, feel free to do so. Our coverage form is superior. We have looked at the marketplace and feel very confident and comfortable with what we're offering, the 19 automatic coverages, We're very excited about equipment breakdown, and we did discuss some of the high sublimits that are automatically built into our form. You have a team here to help you, so feel free to email us at the email address provided or give us a call at any time and we will be glad to help you. So let's go ahead and just open up the line for questions if we have any questions.
All right, Donna, we've got quite a few questions. Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right, first one, can you cover existing structures on renovation?
Yes, we can take a look at both the existing structure and the renovation. So we will underwrite remodeling. All remodeling for right now will go on hold for us to be able to take a look at the existing structure, make sure that we feel comfortable with the scope of the project. And when it's remodeling, we do ask, we didn't show that in this demo, but there is a field for provide details of the project. So if you provide details, we're able to take a look at the existing structure. We can usually get remodeling out without any additional information because you've provided what you need online. But yes, we can do the existing structure and the renovation. Another thing that we're seeing quite often right now are tenant build outs. So that's just for like a small retail shop or maybe a small bakery. We can do just the renovations as well. So we can take a look at either way, with existing or without existing.
Awesome. Now, would you consider extensions vertical or horizontal?
We can take a look at those. Vertical extensions are extensive structural. They're not an automatic decline. It does depend on the condition of the existing structure, the experience of the builder. Those we do have to underwrite very closely. So that's something that we would work together on to see if it would be a fit. But it's not an automatic decline. It's something that we just need to take a really close look at.
All right. Now, can you quote California risks in our V² portal?
We can do California risk. Right now, California is not open for the new frame capacity, but the online portal is available. We should hear any day now back from our filing on the approval. So as of right now, California can go on the portal, but unfortunately, frame is not available. Frame is not available in California or Colorado at this time, but it is open everywhere else.
All right. Now for commercial risk, can you have a term longer than 1 year?
Yes, that's a really good question. We can definitely do a term longer than 12 months. So our system's going to default to 12 months. However, give us a call or add notes in the submission and we can definitely customize that. We can typically go up to 24 months for the larger projects. And if something is needed beyond that, we can take a look at it. But yes, we can do shorter than 12 months. So for those small renovation projects, we can do 3, 6, 9, 12 months. For the larger projects, we can go up to 24 months. So we have a lot of flexibility with our coverage terms.
All right. Now, is this available in Alaska?
No, not at this time. Unfortunately, it's not available in Alaska.
All right. So can you write a prefabricated or modular assembly build?
Modular structures, yes, we can take a look at those. The tilt-up construction or modular construction, we can take a look at. And we are seeing that more frequently. I'm definitely down in the southern areas. We do see the modular and the tilt-up construction, so we can take a look at that.
All right. Now, what is the definition of coastal?
Coastal, that's a really good question. We do have some coastal counties that have mandatory wind deductibles, but coastal is anything along the ocean or Gulf, a county along that area. We can take a look at projects that are more than 1,000 feet from the coastline. So if it's within 1,000 feet of the coastline, we may have to talk about that. It may not be a fit for us, but anything beyond 1,000 feet, we could take a look at. The pass-through rules of the 1.5 million, that's something that's on a county level, and we could talk specifically what state you're in, and we could talk about the guidelines at that time. So if you have specific coastal questions, give me a call.
All right. Now, do you quote builder's risk in New York?
Yes. Yes, we just opened in New York this week, and we are extremely excited to have New York part of the program. So we can take a look at anything that's being built in New York or remodeled within our limits.
Fantastic. So are you able to look at prior starts if more than 50% is completed?
We can take a look at it. Give me a call on any specifics. We prefer the project to have started within 6 months and not be more than 50% complete. But if you have something that you're working on, give me a call and we can take a look at it. We'd have to ask some specific questions and work with management on it. So just for those unique risks, give me a call and we can take a look. But we can take a look at projects that have already started, but 50% we do need to talk about when it's 50% complete.
All right. So if a policy is issued for 1 year, but the construction takes less time, do you offer pro rata cancellation?
Our standard is fully earned premium. If you have a specific builder that is building a good number of these, maybe we talk about a reporting form or designing, customizing the terms to be less than a year. So if you know your client gets things done sooner than a year, we can do a 9-month policy for that specific client. So it's just really knowing the client that our policies are fully earned. But if you have a specific request or want us to take a look at something, we're always open to discussing the best fit for the client. On a client basis, we could take a look at it.
All right. And we've had a lot of questions about how you can get started on these squares. I just wanted to say that can be found on our website at victorinsuranceux.com/v-squared. I'll put it in the chat for everyone. Sorry, Donna, to take your question away.
No, I love it. Yes, right. No, please get registered and give us a call. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
I know we ran through this rather quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
We're just going to get into the next question if you're ready.
Yes.
All right. So will you accept tenant supermarket build-outs? Interior space would be renovated.
Was the question, will we take a look at tenant build-outs for a supermarket?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, we can do tenant build-outs. So that would just be for the renovation only. We do need to make sure that the existing structure does have coverage in place. So that's just a question that's part of the online submission process. As long as we feel comfortable with the scope of the work, those are something that we will take a look at. We've had a lot of success with tenant build-outs recently. I've seen a good number of commercial tenant build-outs. So we're a really good fit for that. So we'd love to take a look at it. The main thing with any type of tenant build-out or a remodeling project is just making sure that the scope of the project is included in the submission. So any details that you have about the project or the work that's going to take place, that's very important that you share that information, and there's a field that you can enter that information on the online system. It doesn't have to be too detailed, just give us an idea, and if we have more questions, we'll follow up. Or too lengthy, I should say.
All right, and there's been a couple of questions on what our minimum premiums are.
Our minimum premium is $400.
Awesome. Now, will you still need architect plans for structural renovation?
Yes, we will still need a structural engineering letter. We will need to make sure that we feel very comfortable with the scope of the project, and those structural work is something that we need to work very closely on. So if you have a structural project, give us a call and we can see if it's something that we can help with. But yes, we will still need the structural engineering letter, the detailed plans, the architect plans, any information that you have to explain the scope of the work.
All right. Here's a specific one. What is the wind and hail deductible in Texas?
In Texas, we have several different wind deductibles. It can be anywhere from 1% to 3%. So if you'll send us your email address, or if you want to give me a call afterwards, we can talk specific about that. Because it is based on the county, and Texas is so large. We have some areas that don't have a wind deductible, and then some that have a 1% up to 3%.
All right. There is a question, in which states do we write, but it might be easier just to name the states that we don't write in.
Right now, we are not in California or Colorado. We can still, let me backtrack. We are open in California and Colorado, but not for frame. So that should be any day now frame is available. So we can still take a look at non-frame risk in California, Colorado. The program is not available in Alaska or Hawaii, but everywhere else we are open and ready to go.
Awesome. Now, do agents have access to the V-Squared portal, or is this for MGAs only?
This is available to anyone that works with Victor, so any agent or broker. We would encourage you to get signed up for V-Squared. If you have any issues gaining access, please call the team, and I'll put that number up in a minute, and we will be happy to help get you into the system or answer any specific questions that you have.
All right, here's another sort of specific one. What is your average rate for frame construction, primarily in Nebraska?
I'd have to take a look at our rate tables. I mean, we have extremely competitive rates throughout the country, but they are designed on a state and county level. So we'll be able to see who asked that question, Darcy. I will reach out to them and we can talk specifically about that. But we have some extremely competitive rates. We can have a conversation about it, or if you'd like to input any business through the portal just to test to see what the rate is, feel free to do that. But I'll reach out to that individual and we can talk specifically about that.
All right. So do you allow residential remodels with limited interior bearing wall work?
I didn't hear the last part of the question. Limited load bearing work?
Sorry, yes, limited interior load bearing wall work.
Okay. We need to take a look at the scope of the project and the condition of the existing structure, but we are open to residential remodels. Load bearing work is structural work, so we just need to feel very comfortable with that, and there is an internal approval process for all structural. So we will have to look at those very closely to see if it fits our guidelines, but we'll be happy to talk to you specifically about any specific risk that you have. Those are really on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Now, do you include water and sewer backup?
Yes, we do have discharge of sewer and water backup, and the automatic limit is $5,000. And that's automatically built into our form.
Awesome. Now, are policies fully earned?
Yes, they are. I can talk specifically with anyone about fully earned or any specific needs of a client, but our standard is fully earned.
All right. Now, what information is required to include flood and earth movement?
When submitting it online, just say yes to flood and earthquake, and then the underwriter will take it from there. So we have our own mapping software that we will use, and we will be back in touch to let you know if those coverages are available. But if any of the optional coverages are needed when you are going through the online submission, just say yes, submit the risk, it will go on hold. The underwriter will be in touch to discuss further.
All right. You've gone over time, but if you're up for it, Donna, we can do a couple more questions.
That's it. Are you okay with that? Yeah, we can go through a few more. That's fine.
Okay, awesome. Now, would you consider remodeling on buildings on a historic registry?
We can consider it. Historical structures do present very unique risk, so we do have to look at those on a case-by-case basis. So if you have a specific one that you're looking at, we can take a look at it to see if it will fit our guidelines. We have some very specific guidelines regarding historical and the scope of the project. We can't do all of them, but we will be happy to take a look at what you have to see if it is a fit.
Awesome. Now, for coastal risks, are houses built on pilings still excluded?
It depends on the type of pilings. We have seen some concrete pier pilings that are eligible, so we just have to take a look at the exact location and what type of pilings are being used and the exact elevation, and we can take a look at those on a case-by-case basis. They're not an automatic no, but we do have to underwrite each risk that's elevated on pilings.
All right. Now, can the default offered coverages be reduced for a reduction in premium?
That's a really good question. The defaults are automatically built into our coverage form, so we're not able to reduce them, but you'll still see that our base rate is very competitive with those automatic coverages included. So I think you'll still see that we are very competitive with our pricing with all the great coverages included. Feel free to go in and do a test if you'd like, just to see what our base rate is and how the quote process works.
All right. And now for extensions of the policy term, can you add a month or two to the policy to allow for completion of the project?
That's a good question about an extension. Yes, at the time of extension, we do have to re-underwrite the risk. So if you do have a project that's not complete, work with your underwriter and we'll collect some specific information. And most of the time we are able to offer an extension. As long as the project hasn't changed drastically, construction is ongoing. But at the time of the extension request, we do have to underwrite the risk, but we do offer extensions.
Awesome. All right. And are the rates comparable to previous builders risk program for frame?
Yes, they are comparable, yes. If you have any specific area or would like to see any specific rates, give me a call and we can talk about those, but they're most likely the same rates. They are very comparable.
All right. So we still have a few more questions. So if we did not get to any of your questions, Jeff or Donna will reach out to you after the webinar. But thank you all for joining. And I believe we have at the end of the webinar, Donna, a slide with our contact information if you want to stick that up.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
There we
yes.
go.
Yeah, and I just appreciate everybody joining. We are so excited to have the online system and frame capacity, and we just appreciate all of you taking the time to sit through and learn about our program. And Jeff and I are here if you need anything at all, so feel free to reach out.